Whew! That seat is for my real daughter. Get out. My daddy hollered that at me at his retirement party in front of 80 whole people. Then he pushed me. I hit that cold, hardwood floor hard in this navy blue dress that used to belong to my mama. She'd worn it to her last anniversary dinner before the cancer took her. I wore it that night to honor him. I didn't know it would be the night he straight up denied I even existed. But what my daddy didn't know, what nobody in that room knew, was that the real daughter he just handed my seat to had been stealing from him for 8 whole months. And my husband had the proof, right there in his jacket pocket, honey. Girl, before I go on, y'all better smash that like button if this mess hitting home, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop your location and what time it is where you at in the comments. I'd love to know where my sister's listening from. My name is Gloria Jackson. I'm 31, and honey, this is the story of the night I almost lost my daddy forever. Let me take y'all back 3 years before that party, the day everything started crumbling. My daddy, Roland Jackson, spent 35 years as a foreman at a manufacturing plant right outside Atlanta, Georgia. He punched in at 6, punched out at 4, and spent his Saturdays dragging me around construction sites in steel-toed boots 2 sizes too big for my little feet. He'd point at a beam and say, "See how that carries the load, Gloria? Everything holds up something else." I was 9 years old and had no clue what he was talking about, but I listened. And years later, I became a structural engineer and finally understood. The things you can't see are the ones keeping everything standing. Period. My mama, Linda, was an ER nurse. She worked nights so she could be home when I got off that school bus. She smelled like antiseptic and lavender, sang off key while she cooked, and made our tiny kitchen feel like the warmest place in the world. She and Daddy built their life around a small oak table he made by hand the year I was born. 3 chairs, 1 for each of us. No one extra, no one missing, Daddy used to say. Mama got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer when I was 11. She passed 14 months later. I was 12. Daddy didn't fall apart, at least not where I could see it. He kept going to work, kept making dinner, kept sitting at that oak table in his chair across from mine. Mama's chair stayed empty. I never asked him to leave it that way. He just did. For 3 years after she died, it was just us 2. That silence in the house was heavy, sure, but it was ours. Then Daddy told me he'd met somebody, said she'd never replace Mama. I believed him. Vanessa Hayes walked into our lives wearing a cream-colored cashmere wrap and a smile so fake it could have been licensed. She was pretty, polished, divorced, and she had a daughter named Bethany who was 2 years younger than me. Daddy introduced them over dinner at our house. Vanessa brought a bottle of wine that probably cost more than everything in our fridge combined. I'll give her credit. At first, she tried. Asked about my classes, complimented Mama's curtains, even offered to teach me to drive. Daddy thought that was generous. I said, no thank you. I already had my permit. They got married when I was 15. Small ceremony. Vanessa wore ivory. I wore the black dress Mama bought me for 8th grade graduation because it was the only formal thing I owned. Nobody said a word about it. Within 6 months, things started shifting. Small things. Vanessa swapped that oak table for a marble-top dining set. Something more modern, she said. Daddy agreed. Old table went to the garage. First Thanksgiving after the wedding, I came downstairs and my chair, the one Daddy carved my initials in when I was 8, was gone. We needed a matching set, Vanessa said, smoothing a linen napkin like she owned the whole world. Bethany moved in full-time around then, took the guest room, which Vanessa redecorated with sage wallpaper and a new vanity. Bethany was 13, chatty, eager, started calling my daddy Dad from week 1. And my daddy, who hadn't cried once since Mama's funeral, got misty-eyed and hugged her at that new dinner table. I watched from the kitchen doorway and didn't say a word. That was my first mistake, y'all. I left for college at 18, Georgia Tech, structural engineering, full ride on academic merit. Daddy drove me, helped carry my boxes, stood in the parking lot a long time after I said I'd be fine. Vanessa stayed home, claimed a migraine. Every break I came home, something else had changed. Mama's photos got moved from the living room to the hallway, then to a basement shelf. Her recipe box disappeared from the counter. Her garden, the one she planted with coneflowers and black-eyed Susans before she got sick, got ripped up and replaced with boring ornamental grasses that never bloomed. My bedroom turned into Vanessa's yoga studio. When I asked where my stuff was, she pointed to 3 cardboard boxes in the garage stacked next to Daddy's old oak table. We needed the space, sweetheart. Bethany's doing online classes. Bethany already had a quiet room, but I didn't argue. That was the pattern. Vanessa would snatch something small, call it practical, and Daddy would go along 'cause fighting about curtains felt beneath him. He was a foreman. He fixed real load-bearing problems, not domestic drama. I met Malik at a structural engineering conference when I was 25. He was a forensic accountant talking about construction fraud. We talked 3 hours about how numbers lie but buildings don't. We got married 2 years later at the courthouse, 12 guests. Daddy walked me down the aisle. Vanessa came too. Developed a headache right at the toasts, and they dipped before we cut the cake. Last time Daddy really looked me in the eye was outside that courthouse. He squeezed my hand and said, "Your mama would have liked him." That was 4 years ago. 3 years before the party, I was managing a bridge inspection project in Savannah when Christmas snuck up on me. Project behind schedule, contractor cutting corners on expansion joints, real life or death stuff. I couldn't leave till the county signed off. I called Daddy December 23rd. Voicemail. Left a message. "Hey Daddy, stuck on site. Sorry I can't make Christmas. I'll come in January. Love you. Merry Christmas." No callback. I figured he was disappointed. Texted Christmas morning. Nothing. Called New Year's Day. Voicemail again. Called the landline. Vanessa picked up. Voice cold as ice. "Gloria, your father said he doesn't want to talk right now. Respect that." So I did. Gave him space. Called every week for 3 years. 147 calls. 42 texts. Not one single response. I never stopped trying, but I never busted through that door demanding answers either. Twice I drove over. Vanessa met me at the porch, arms crossed. Same line. "He doesn't want to see you, Gloria. Stop making this harder." I could have pushed past her, caused a scene, but something in me wouldn't beg. If Daddy wanted me gone, I'd let him, even if it wrecked me. That was my pride talking, and Vanessa knew exactly how to weaponize it. 8 weeks before the party, Malik got a mystery call. Older woman's voice. "Is this Malik Jackson? I'm Denise Webb from benefits at your father-in-law's company. We need to talk paperwork." Malik didn't tell me. Not yet. Then the invitation hit my work email. Not from Vanessa, not from Daddy, from the company event coordinator. Mass email. "You're cordially invited to celebrate the retirement of Roland Jackson. 35 years of dedicated service. Peachtree Country Club, Saturday, 6 p.m. Black tie optional." I stared at that email 20 whole minutes. Malik walked in the kitchen, saw my face, sat down. "You should go." "He ain't spoke to me in 3 years." "Exactly why you gotta go. Room full of people. This might be your only shot." Something in how he said room full of people felt deliberate. But I was too busy picking my outfit. I chose Mama's navy blue dress, boat neck, 3/4 sleeves, hem just below the knee. Still smelled like her perfume if I buried my face in it. Wore it for Daddy 'cause Mama couldn't be there. Wanted a piece of her in the room. Malik drove. Peachtree Country Club. Long private drive, stone columns, golf course glowing at dusk, valet and everything. Inside, crystal chandeliers, linen everything, podium with Daddy's big photo shaking hands with the CEO. Everything staged and expensive. Seating chart by the door. Head table. Roland Jackson, Vanessa Jackson, Bethany Hayes. 3 big bosses. My name nowhere. Aunt Joyce stuck way in the back by the kitchen doors. I should have turned around right there, but after 3 years of silence, I needed to hear my name from his mouth, even if it destroyed me. Vanessa met us in the foyer, charcoal Hermes scarf over a tight black dress. Her smile hit me like a camera flash, bright, fake, gone in a second. "Oh, Gloria, I didn't think you'd actually show." "Invitation said family," I shot back. She steered us to a sad little two-top wedged by a pillar. No name card, no centerpiece, just 2 chairs and a bread basket. I sat. Malik sat across. From there, I could see Daddy at the head table, Cartier watch sparkling, Bethany leaning on his arm in her blush cocktail dress and Tiffany pendant, perfect curls, looking like she belonged. Daddy glanced my way. 1 second our eyes met. I waited for anything. Recognition. Guilt. He turned back to Bethany like I was invisible. A hand squeezed my shoulder. "Aunt Joyce," she whispered. "Glad you came, baby. There are things you need to know." Then 4 words dropped like stones. They changed his papers. Before I could ask what that meant, Vanessa took the podium, tapped the mic twice. Room went quiet. "Good evening, y'all. Tonight we celebrate the most incredible man, husband, and father, Roland Jackson." Applause. Slideshow started. 35 years of Daddy's life. Factory floor, handshakes, picnics. Then family pics. Vanessa and Roland at vineyards. Bethany and Roland at games. All 3 on the porch of the house I grew up in. Not one picture of me. Not one of Mama. Vanessa smiled big. "Special shout out to Roland's daughter Bethany, his pride and joy." Bethany waved. Folks clapped. I felt Malik's hand tighten under the table. Gray-haired colleague Phil walked up during the clapping. "Ain't you Gloria? Ron talked about you all the time. Showed your graduation photo, your engineering license. What happened?" I couldn't even answer. I'd spent 3 years making excuses and none of them fit anymore. Slideshow ended. Waiters brought food. Vanessa put her hand on Daddy's shoulder like she owned him. I stood up. Malik asked if I was sure. I didn't drive 4 hours to eat bread in the corner. I walked straight through the middle. 80 pairs of eyes on me like I was on trial. Stepped up on that little platform. Bethany's smile cracked. 1 empty chair at the end. I put my hand on it. "Daddy." Roland looked up, jaw tight. "It's been 3 years. Can we talk?" Silence. Vanessa leaned in, whispered something. Daddy's face hardened. He stood, 63 but still built like the foreman he was. Put both hands on my shoulders and pushed. I flew backward off that platform. Heel caught, hit the floor hard. Mama's dress seam split with a sad little rip. "That seat is for my real daughter." Daddy's voice boomed across the whole room. "You lost the right when you turned your back on this family. Get out." Behind him, Bethany slid right into my chair. "It's okay, Daddy. She can't hurt you anymore." 80 people. Forks frozen. Nobody moved. Whole room held its breath and chose silence. I sat there on that cold floor, feeling the hardwood through Mama's torn dress. My clutch spilled, and there was that old photo of me at 5, sitting on Daddy's shoulders at a job site. Hard hat too big, grinning so wide my eyes disappeared. He was laughing. I carried that photo everywhere. I didn't cry. I stared up at the man who taught me how buildings stand and saw nothing but cold certainty on his face. Vanessa had spent 3 years building that wall. I started pushing myself up, 1 step from walking out forever, when I heard a chair slide back. Not mine, Malik's. Malik stood slow, buttoned his suit jacket, adjusted his cuffs. That was his tell. Meant he was about to drop truth nobody could argue with. Vanessa spotted him first. Brief flash of panic, then fake hostess smile. Malik, I think it's best you take Gloria home. She's had a long night. Malik ignored her, walked straight to me, offered his hand, pulled me up, looked at Mama's torn hem, jaw tight, then turned to the head table. Mr. Jackson, I'm Malik, your daughter's husband, the one you just pushed to the floor. Daddy's face went red. I don't have nothing to say to you. Take her and leave. I understand, sir, but before we go, when was the last time you personally checked your messages? Vanessa jumped up so fast her chair scraped loud. Malik, this ain't the time. Actually, Mrs. Jackson, this is exactly the time. Okay, y'all, I need to pause right here, because at that moment, I was ready to walk out and let Daddy live in whatever lie Vanessa built. But Malik, he'd been sitting quiet all night, holding something in that jacket pocket nobody knew about. Something that was about to blow the whole room up. Before I tell you what happened next, if this story got you somewhere personal, hit that like. And if anybody ever stood up for you when the world went silent, tell me in the comments, sis. Now let me tell y'all what Malik did. While Malik stood there, Vanessa tried to recover, palms out, voice sweet. Everybody, sorry for the disruption. Enjoy your dinners. This is Roland's night. Whispered to Daddy. Mike caught it. See, I told you she only comes when she wants something. Daddy gripped his napkin till his knuckles went white. Bethany jumped in. I'm here, Daddy. I'll always be here. Rubbed his arm. Few folks gave sympathetic smiles. The fake daughter comforting the poor father. Narrative still holding. But from the back, Denise Webb, silver-haired benefits lady, watched everything and gave Malik one deliberate nod. I didn't get it yet, but I would. Phil broke the quiet. That was wrong, Ron. That girl drove 4 hours. Vanessa lifted her champagne. To Roland and the family that stayed. Some glasses went up, uncomfortable. Nobody except Malik. Vanessa marched over to me by the coat check, heels clicking. Gloria, sweetie, best if you leave quietly. You embarrassed your father enough. I embarrassed him? He pushed me to the floor. 'Cause you showed up uninvited. If you loved him, you'd respect his wishes. His wishes or yours? Her eyes went dead flat. Roland's made his decision. Retirement, benefits, house, everything taken care of. You ain't part of the plan. Walk away graceful, or I'll make sure everybody here knows exactly what kind of daughter you've been. Something in that line, everything taken care of, sounded like she was protecting a bank account, not a marriage. What kind of daughter calls her father every week for 3 years and never gets an answer? Vanessa flinched, half-second raw, then mask back. But I saw it. She knew about every call. Malik had been waiting for that exact slip. He walked slow toward the head table, every step deliberate. Passed Vanessa like she was nothing. Stopped in front of Daddy. Mr. Jackson, before your wife calls security, one more question. When was the last time you personally reviewed your 401k beneficiary designations? Daddy blinked. What that got to do with anything? When was the last time you checked? Years ago. Vanessa handles all the paperwork, Malik finished. I know she does. Vanessa rushed over. Roland don't engage. He's manipulating. Mrs. Jackson, you can stop. I already got the paperwork. Malik pulled out a thick manila envelope, set it on the table gentle, like it was evidence in court. Room went dead quiet again. Vanessa spun between them. Roland, they're ruining your night. This is your retirement. Turned to guests with wounded eyes. Gloria's always been difficult. We tried everything. But Malik stayed calm. Mr. Jackson, Somebody been dismantling your financial future, and you don't know it yet. Daddy's hand hovered over the envelope. Even if Bethany got debt, what that got to do with me? She owes $180,000 from a failed startup, Malik said. Did you know? Daddy's head whipped to Bethany. Her face went ashy. He's lying, Daddy. Of course he's lying, Vanessa snapped. He's an accountant. They twist numbers. Malik didn't blink. I'm a forensic accountant. I find when documents get altered for a living. Sir, can I show you what's in this envelope? 60 seconds. Room so quiet you could hear ice melt in glasses. Malik laid two forms side by side. Left one, 12 years old. Gloria Jackson, 50%. Estate of Linda Jackson, 50%. Daddy's real looping signature. Right one, 8 months ago. Bethany Hayes, 100%. Signature straight and wrong. Daddy picked up the new one. This ain't my signature. I always loop my R. This one's straight. Vanessa tried. Those are fake. He printed them. I've seen my handwriting 63 years, Vanessa. This ain't me. Then Denise stood up from the back, walked calm to the front. Excuse me, I need to add context. I've been Mr. Jackson's benefits coordinator 22 years. When somebody submits a change with a funky signature, that's company business. She opened her folio. 8 months ago, a form came in by email. Unusual because Mr. Jackson always came in person. Signature didn't match. Email from a personal Gmail. I flagged it. Reached out to Malik because he's Gloria's next of kin. I wasn't going to let nobody dismantle 30 years of this man's retirement with a forgery. Malik pulled out the phone records printout. Mr. Jackson, your wife told you Gloria never calls, turned her back, didn't care. Laid the pages down. 147 calls, 42 texts, every week for 36 months. Daddy's finger traced the dates. My phone never rang. Check your blocked contacts right now, sir. Daddy pulled his phone, swiped clumsy, found my number blocked. Looked up at Vanessa, voice barely a whisper. You blocked my daughter? Vanessa's mask shattered. Raw fury poured out. Yes, I blocked her, 'cause she was toxic, trying to turn you against me and Bethany. I was protecting this family. She was my daughter. Daddy's voice cracked like concrete breaking. Vanessa kept going. Every time she called, you got sad. Started asking about Linda. Helping me move past my dead wife? Helping you heal. Then she slipped. Everything I did was for you, Bethany. Your father left us with nothing, and I had to make sure. Daddy stared. Make sure of what? That Bethany would be taken care of. Voice dropped. Her company failed. She owes more than she'll ever pay. I had to think about her future. So you stole mine, Daddy said quiet. You erased my daughter, forged my name, looted my retirement, and called that family? Aunt Joyce stood. Roland, I tried telling you for years. Watched Vanessa shut Gloria out piece by piece. Photos, calls, invitations. You pushed your daughter to the floor tonight in front of everybody you respect. Sit with that. Daddy sat back down, stared at the phone records. 147 calls in black and white. Then he stood, walked slow across that ballroom, past all the stairs, stopped in front of me, looked at Mama's torn dress. That's your Mama's dress. Yes, I wore it for you, 'cause Mama would have wanted to be here. Something broke in his face. I pushed you in front of everyone. Yes. He looked at his Cartier, then at me. All Vanessa's lies drained out his eyes. Gloria, I believed everything she told me, 'cause it was easier than admitting I was losing you. After your mama died, I didn't know how to be a father alone. Vanessa made it simple. I let her. I'm sorry. Sorry I pushed you. Sorry I didn't answer your calls. Sorry I let them take your mama's pictures off the wall. My throat tight, eyes burning, but I didn't fall into his arms. I accept your apology, Daddy, but accepting it and trusting you again Two different things. We got a long way to go. He nodded. I know. Good. This where we start, not where we finish. Vanessa tried one last time, marched between us. Can't y'all see? They planned this whole spectacle to humiliate Roland. Daddy didn't even look at her. No, Vanessa. The only person who planned anything was you. Seating chart, slideshow with no pictures of Gloria or Linda. You made my daughter invisible until you couldn't. Phil spoke up. Ma'am, man just showed us a forged signature. Sit down. Bethany whispered, Mama, it's over. Vanessa deflated. It is not over. But nobody believed her. Bethany stopped by me on her way out. I didn't know about the forgery, but I knew about the phone. I understand wanting a dad, but you don't get one by erasing somebody else's daughter. She nodded, walked out. Vanessa called after her desperate, but Bethany didn't look back. Vanessa stood alone, then marched to the door. At the exit, she turned, looked straight at me with pure 16-year fury. I stared back, didn't flinch. Door closed behind her. Daddy pulled out my chair at the head table. That seat was always yours, Gloria. I just forgot. For the first time in 3 years, I sat next to my daddy. After everybody left, Denise told Daddy the forms would be frozen. Investigation starting Monday. Your original beneficiary, Gloria 50%, Mama's estate 50%, restored. Malik drove us home, told me he'd known 2 weeks, waited till the proof was airtight because he refused to give me false hope. 1 week later, forgery confirmed, Daddy's papers fixed. He met a lawyer, divorce started. Vanessa moved her stuff out quiet. Bethany emailed, You were right about the phone. I should have said something. I read it, didn't reply yet. Daddy called Saturday, first call in 3 years. I don't know how to fix this. This call is a start, Daddy. 2 weeks later, I pulled up to the house. Marble table gone, oak table back in the kitchen, sanded fresh. My carved initials still there. Pot of black-eyed Susans on the porch, Mama's flower. Blocked contacts list, empty. We sat at that table, 2 plain mugs of coffee, Mama's photo back on the wall. Didn't need to say everything. Sometimes sitting at the same table is enough. Forgiveness ain't a light switch, y'all. It's physical therapy. Slow, uncomfortable, measured in inches. Some days I'm fine. Some days I remember that floor and Mama's dress ripping, and I choose again whether to carry it or set it down. I learned. Forgiving don't mean pretend it didn't happen. It means their worst moment don't get to run the rest of the story. Vanessa. I don't hate her. She was scared her daughter would end up with nothing. Method was wrong. Execution, straight criminal. But that fear, I get it. Just won't let it excuse what she did. Malik didn't save me. He gave me the truth. Denise gave paperwork. Aunt Joyce gave the mirror. I saved myself by showing up in Mama's dress after 3 years of silence. 1 month later, Daddy and I went to that old diner. Red vinyl booths, same fried egg sandwiches and black coffee. He wore the $30 Timex I bought him at 16, under the Cartier box. I always knew which one meant more. Your mama would have been proud of you, Gloria. She would have been proud of you too, Daddy, for waking up. Best meal I had in years. Vanessa's divorce final. Georgia law don't split fraud assets. She got nothing from the $420,000 retirement. Company referred forgery to authorities, still pending. She living with her sister in Columbus. Bethany paying her own debt, no safety net. Sent another email. I kept it. Denise retired with a commendation. Still sends Daddy 401k articles. Daddy joined a support group for folks manipulated by family, learning his phone for real. Camera always on his forehead. I don't correct him. Malik still checking numbers twice. Steadiest man alive. Oak table got 4 chairs now. Roland, Gloria, Malik, Aunt Joyce. Just enough for the ones who chose to stay. not the ones who stayed to take. If you're listening and you recognize the silence, the blocked calls, the seat that got snatched, hear me. You ain't invisible. You was just in a room full of folks who chose not to look. Don't wait 3 years like I did. Don't let pride turn into an excuse. My silence didn't protect me. It protected her. But also, don't fight for people who showed you they don't deserve it. Know the difference. My daddy made a terrible mistake because a woman lied to him every day for 3 years, and he was too tired and scared to question it. That don't excuse him, but it explains him. Understanding why somebody hurt you is sometimes the first step to deciding if they earned another chance. I didn't get a fairy tale ending. I got a starting point. Kitchen table with 4 chairs, black-eyed Susans on the porch, daddy who answers his phone now, husband who fights with paperwork instead of fists, aunt who never stopped knocking. My name is Gloria Jackson. I'm 31, structural engineer, building things that stand even when the ground shakes. On Daddy's oak table next to Mama's photo, that snapshot of me at 5 on his shoulders, hard hat too big, both of us laughing. I carry it everywhere now, right where it belongs. That's the end of my story, y'all. But before you bounce, if you could go back and say one honest thing to the family member who hurt you most, what would it be? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Y'all seeing this mess? Drop a if you team Gloria. Comment period below if that cold revenge was satisfying. What would you do, sis? Like, subscribe, share with your sister who needs to hear this, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay strong, stay blessed, and remember, the things you can't see are still holding you up.